Hi everyone, Bernard here. I hope you're all staying safe and well, and welcome to my film and TV channel. I hope you enjoy what I've got for you today, and please check out as you're watching this little links on screen as well for different things on my Facebook and Twitter, and of course my football channel as well. And please, all your comments are very welcome. Just let us know and push that subscribe button. Don't forget, please push the subscribe button. Make sure your notifications set to public as well if you want to know when these vlogs are coming out. Push that notification button as well. So anyway, please enjoy. Right, we're going to take a look at a sci-fi action-adventure film. This is classed as, yes, a sequel. Yes, a sequel to a 2018 film as well. So we're going to look at Venom, Let There Be Carnage, of course. 15 rating here in the UK. 97 minutes long. Yeah, that's nice. I like that. I like that from Marvel. We'll talk about that in a minute, but I like that length. Obviously, take out the credits, you're probably talking a good hour and a half, aren't you, for that? Featuring, of course, the Marvel Comics character Venom, sequel to the Venom film in 2018. Directed by Andy Serkis from a screenplay by Kelly Marcel based on the story she wrote with Tom Hardy, who also stars in this, of course, as Eddie Brock and Venom, combined alongside together, also alongside Michelle Williams, Naomi Harris, Reed Scott, Stephen Graham, Peggy Lou, and Woody Harrelson. Yeah, so a good little cast. And what's it about? Well, Eddie Brock, we know, if we watched the first Venom, you might not be inspired to watch this one because it's pretty much more of the same. So if you didn't like the first one, you may not like this. But anyway, it's Eddie Brock. He's still struggling, is he, to coexist with the shape-shifting extraterrestrial Venom, of course, when deranged serial killer Cletus Cassidy also becomes host to an alien symbiote. Yeah, there we go. Brock and Venom must put aside their differences to stop his reign of terror. Yes, because it's a bit nasty. He's a bit nasty in this. The scores, all these scores are as at today. What date are we on today? We're on the 12th of October 2021. So these are all at about 10 a.m. UK time. Rotten Tomatoes, 185 scores and reviews left, 111 fresh and 74 rotten. So pretty split that, isn't it? I mean, that's a lot of rotten, really. And its overall score is only 5.5 out of 10, which isn't great. That's my sitting on the fence score, isn't it? Where it's not quite good, but it's, it's all right. It is what it is. Amy Nicholson, she liked it, though. She's from the New York Times. She said, "This is, in essence, a slapstick bloodbath about two threesomes, both in desperate need of thruples therapy." Thruples therapy. There's a bit of alliteration for you. I like that one. That's why I included it. I like that. Thruples therapy. Brian Lowry, though, he didn't like it. He was pretty rotten on this, and as I say, there's a fair quantity of rotten reviews on this as well. He's from CNN.com. He said, "A mind-numbingly tiresome sequel filled with uninspired comedy and a CGI monster fight that seems to drag on forever." I think Brian's been I don't think Brian had a good day that day when he did that, to be honest with you. But hey, if he didn't like the first one, I probably understand why he's got a downer on the second one. The general consensus: a sequel aimed squarely at fans of the original's odd couple chemistry. Yes, Venom Let There Be Carnage eagerly embraces the franchise's sillier side. It does. It doesn't take itself too darkly or serious, this one. The audience, so this is what we're looking at, and interesting. Rotten Tomatoes audience, 4.3 out of 5, so that's 8.6 out of 10, so that's not bad, is it? So obviously the critics can think one thing, but us, the audience, can think another. The consensus of the audience, with tons of action, fun fight scenes, and plenty of comedy, Venom Let There Be Carnage gives fans everything they'll be looking for, plus a can't-miss post-credits surprise. Yeah, well, I missed that. I didn't see that, but okay. I can't tell you about that because I missed it. I'm going to have to watch it again just to see the post-credit surprise answer. Right, Metacritic. Yeah, the other critic site, again, not great. 39 reviews been left and scores 48 out of 100. So again, quite disappointing from the critics. The critics have got a downer on their Venom 2, haven't they, by all accounts. It scores anywhere between 32 and 85 out of 100. The Guardian's Benjamin Lee, he didn't like it very much. He only give it 30 30 out of 100. Oh, yeah, so it scores anywhere between 30 and 85, not 32. Or about 30 should be 32. Either way, it's not very good from Benjamin Lee anyway. It's at least a short film, he says, yeah. Clocking in around 90 minutes, circus chopping off any extraneous fat, but it floats by and floats on without ever causing us to sit up and pay attention. Let there be no more. So I'd say some of the critics are a bit mean, aren't they, on this one? IGN, though, IGN gave it 70 out of 100 and said, taking itself less seriously and having more fun, its relatively short runtime is packed densely with plenty of action. It's funny how people see things differently, isn't it? Character development and campy humour. At the same time, it's a love story about relationships evolving and learning to grow and trust each other. Of course it is. Right, Internet Movie Database, Joe Public, you and me. We see the Rotten Tomatoes audience were quite popular on it and quite high on it, but not so much the Internet Movie Database audience, you, me, Joe Public, but still good with 18,420 scores and reviews. It's getting an average 6.5 out of 10, which is pretty good. There's nothing wrong with that as a rating for that number of reviews as well. That's at 18,420, a large 79%, 14,536 gave it at least 6 out of 10 or more. So it looks good. So the audience, I think we're getting the gist of this, that the audience quite liked it and the critics were panning it. So what about me? What about my little thoughts as I don't know, I suppose a little bit of a critic, but I class myself as just a normal guy watching these films. I'm not into any flowery language. I'll just tell you how I thought it was. And what I like about this to begin with doesn't sound overly exciting, but it is the length. There's a tendency, of course, to drag out these Marvel things, and obviously DC as well are at it, to 2 hours plus, just to justify the cost and the sort of, obviously, the franchise, if you like. But thankfully, this doesn't. And I think if it had tried to, certainly with the story content we get and etc., tried to drag this out to 2 hours, I think it would have been a really big mistake and sort of ruined it. And for the people who did like it, which still a lot of the public did, even within 90 minutes or so, I say it does have its moments where Venom's a bit annoying to me. He annoyed me a little bit, a bit gobby and very just slightly annoying. And I didn't get quite to the turn off button, but I did sort of just move the story along, please. So even within the 90 minutes, there were little elements of that, I say, but thankfully, overall, it has enough story and a couple of great villains. You want good and bad, don't you? A couple of great villains that we could sort of invest in of 3 or 4 characters, which is really nice. I mean, obviously, the accents. There's a few accents. Obviously, I do like who's it in it? Of course, Stephen Graham. I do like Stephen Graham, but obviously, I wasn't overly impressed with his American accent. But if you can get past things like that, which to me, I don't usually bother that much, but because I know Stephen Graham, it did annoy me just a little bit. So but thankfully, all, as I said, there was a couple of good villains in it. A definitely by the numbers story. There's nothing clever about the story, but it does have a definite comic book feel to it, and that's what these are. Should be comic books brought to life, and sometimes I think they overcomplicate things with these Marvel and DC stuff, these DCUs and Marvel Universe stuff, and it brings it back to a little bit more of a definite comic book feel, which I like that aspect of it, to be honest with you. It's a great climax, it always helps, and I think it was a very worthy battle of good versus evil, as you'd expect from a climax. Someone said before it was boring, but I think that's been a bit unkind. I thought it was great. It wasn't too over the top. It was, and it certainly did drag on. I don't know where that guy got his thoughts from, to be honest with you. As I said, I don't think he likes number 1. I mean, fans of the first one of this, I think, surely must like this. I don't think it's anything different to what we've seen before. So anyone who didn't like the first one, I'd advise probably don't watch it, because it's just more of the same. It's just a straightforward carry-on, if you like, from the original. So if you didn't like it in the first place, don't watch this and post bad reviews. I don't think it's going to win over any new fans who didn't like the first. But I just thought it was a pretty solid, if not spectacular, follow-up. And I say I did prefer the original. I did prefer the first one. I thought the first one was a bit clever and a bit more. I mean, this made me laugh. Don't get me wrong, but as I said, there was just that little tendency to find. I found it a little bit annoying at times, but just a little bit. It didn't ruin it totally for me. So I am going to give it a very good score. I am going to give it a little bit higher than IMDb and a little bit less than the Rotten Tomato audience, but certainly lots higher than the critics are giving it. I'm going to give it a very good 7 out of 10, which, if you know my scores, obviously, if I push anything over 5.56 and 6.5, it's usually pretty good. But as I said, only for fans of the first. As I say, if you didn't like the first, I probably wouldn't bother watching this because it's only going to upset you because it's more of the same. I don't think it'll win any new fans who didn't like the first one, but I like the first one very much, and I like this one almost as much. Not quite, but almost as much. And as I said, thankfully, an hour and a half, perfect, flew by. Enjoyed it every single minute of it, and I'll have to go back and watch those post credits now, won't I? It's annoyed me now, that, to be honest with you. But there you go. Anyway, let me know what you think if you get to watch this. This is available at the UK cinemas from around the 15th of October 2021. So as you're watching this, it might already be out there. But yeah, get your tickets booked if you're fans of the first one. Anyway, I think that's all I can say. Brilliant stuff. Anyway, thanks for watching. All you got to do, rest stay, have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your families. More important, let's all look after each other. So we meet here again on the Film and TV channel. Please have a look at my Citizen channel, my football channel on my club, Manchester City, if you get a chance. But if not, if I meet you back here on the Film and TV channel, don't worry. I only ask one thing if you don't have, please. Stay safe, everyone. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.